Aloha everyone, Joshua Hayes at BigWaveTrading.com. Well, I warned everybody that once again I didn't like the V-shaped nature of this market uptrend, and voila, today, boom, we sold off. However, quite an interesting session overall. You can see here the DIA pulled back. Volume was slightly heavier than the session before. Dow Jones Industrial Average, you can see that too. But while it was a technical distribution day, at least volume was below average. So that's the one slightly good news. Then you look on the NASDAQ, volume was actually slightly lower than the session before. So it avoided a distribution day. But on the NASDAQ 100 ETF, it got a distribution day. And on the NASDAQ 100, as you can see, slightly below yesterday's total. So a little bit of a mixed bag there overall, but still pretty bad pullback. Then you have the spider. You can see volume was slightly heavier, so a distribution day, and on the actual average, distribution day. So it looked like, pretty bad reversal. This is what I keep talking about. The low volume rallies, boom, V shapes right into resistance, boom, distribution immediately. However, surprisingly, there was an index that stood out today, which allowed my portfolio to do very well and allowed the market to have a hidden underlying internal strength about it that the complete major market averages masked. As you can see here, the IWM, very nice bullish candle bar over previous bullish candle bar the session before. Volume was heavier than the session before, and even though BOP slightly is lower today, you can still, the trend is up. But this is a pretty good pattern, and this matches the ETF that I bought yesterday, or this morning, IJS, following yesterday's signal. So the overall market looks pretty good immediately after looking bad. And another positive sign, what I needed to see immediately to not get too bearish internally, my gut, whatever, which I will never trade off of. And that's another thing. While I may not like the nature of this uptrend, the no volume, the distribution that comes whenever we do run into resistance, I'm not fighting it. Price is all that matters. If price wants to keep melting up because we have that floor with share buybacks and dividend increases in larger cap stocks, then so be it. I will ride the trend higher. Doesn't mean I have to embrace it and love it with all of my heart, but I'm not going to fight it. So today the good news is the Russell 2000, still a slight negative divergence with breadth compared to the S&P 500, but because the Russell 2000 did so well today, leading stocks in my perfect speculator scan and Cancelim scan did so well, this line at least has a new short-term higher high, and it did hold those recent lows. So while it did have lower highs while the index was going up, it prevented getting too serious of little low lows here. I mean, it's very minor, but more importantly, we're back up above the recent highs. And then the other noticeable item on today's session, the put call ratio, thanks to the other indexes falling lower, was able to jump today to right around 0.90. So very, very, very good. Speaking of very good, that then leads us to the filled orders. Look at how many intraday stops I had today. Look at the timestamps of them all. Just to let you know, 3:30 is 9:30 a.m. New York Stock Exchange time. So as you can see, immediately everything was filled here. And if you notice here, you'll be like, how in the hell is DBO in there? I didn't see you pick DBO as a long position. Well, DBO basically gave me a buyback signal the session before. It was not an ad signal, so I do not post it to everybody. But I told individuals in the chat room, members in the chat room, that I was going to buy it back possibly. Well, I did, because the overall chart, weekly, daily, is too nice. I'm tracking it on an end-of-day basis. Might as well buy it back so I can have the position that I'm tracking on the end-of-day basis. But besides that, every buy signal, very orderly at the open. Then you can see a final sell stop here, a profit stop, profit stop, profit stop, final profit stop, partial sell stop immediately with iGold. But look at the entry, 271, and look at my first cut loss level, basically 264. Not bad. Profit stop, profit stop. So all profit stops besides iGold, NIHG, and SPWH. I was unable to raise any real capital today with those intraday stops. My total amount of capital raised, 0.6 0.6%. I have 0.6% of my capital in Interactive Brokers to work with to buy the new long positions that I will soon go over, which, by the way, there's only 3 and then 1 ad signal of quality. So I'm going to have to split my 0.6%, which is, I believe, right around $3,000 into those 4 names. So getting now to the end of day sell signals, this was another wow moment by the time I finished the scanning going over my long positions. Netflix is closing below the 50-day moving average on above average volume with red bop. That's a 50% sell signal. 50% of what I have left goes to right here. My final sell stop is 1 cent below that low right there. And then PLT, 50% end of day sell signal. I no longer have a position in PLT as I believe I was shaken out all the way back here. So this entire uptrend move that I've been tracking on an end of day basis for members that are still long, I haven't been a part of. But if you're still long, this is a 50% sell signal. Whatever you have, 50% needs to be moved to this low right here. And then I personally would have my final stop right here. And you know, just key lows here is where I would have the rest of my partial stops. So 50% has to go right there. And then NEPT already got knocked out of some of it here when it went below that low a day right there. When it went below that low a day, I was knocked out of more of it. Tightened up my stops again. Well, actually, till just, never mind. I did not do that. So run here, that was 1 stop that hit here. I then had a stop here. That was taken out here, and now the close below the 50-day moving average on heavier volume. That is a 50% sell signal, not 100% because it's still above this low here and this low here. On the rest of my NEPT position, 50% of what I have goes right here, and then my final stop is 1 cent below this low right here at 279. There was only one 100% full sell signal. TBK, I was completely flushed out of it here. It is now a 100% sell signal if anyone is long. If you trade on end-of-day market orders, you sell it at the open. If you're still long, your final stop has to absolutely be 5 cents because it's a 5-cent stock below 38.30. Now to the new long positions. Like I already told you, all I can do is split up my 3,000 into each of these. But it's supposed to be 1.5% of my account capital into ENSG. Let me change my tracking list so I can get rid of that white arrow on that chart. So let's get back there. So ENSG is supposed to be 1.5%. This is canceling quality and perfect speculator quality. Pocket pivot point signal 3 days in a row. Hammer candlestick pattern over hammer candlestick pattern. Heavier volume. BOP is positive, slightly higher today. Want to get long ENSG. Limit order 38.17. First cut loss level, these lows right here. The lowest low is right there. 36.81. Final cut loss level 35.03. Then EFSC, this one, canceling quality. The Zoom 3 kind of shows you the nice longer uptrend. Zoom 4 gets you close and shows you that there's no red bop on the chart short term. Back-to-back pocket pivot point signals, bullish candle over candle pattern, heavier above average volume with bop going back to the green level. EFSC is canceling quality, so it's supposed to be 1% of my account capital, but red alert, red alert, red alert. Earnings are on 7/23 after the market close. I believe that's Monday after the close. So if this is supposed to be a 1% position, it has to be reduced in half. 0.5% position. 0.5% of my account capital. This is an extremely high quality, slim quality stock. EPS is over 90, relative, you know what, I said yesterday NSIT was, and I was wrong. It was like 89, 80, and then 98. So I believe that EFSC, though, at least is green light on everything. EPS is over 90, relative strength is 89, 90, something like that. Composite rating is over 95, so it's super high quality. So I don't think earnings are going to suck. So 0.5% of my account capital. Limit order 55.65. First cut loss level 54.10. Second cut loss level 53.40. Final cut loss level 52.95. And then XOXO can slim quality and can't want to open that price bar up there so you can see that it closed higher than where it opened. There we go. Okay, so can slim quality and perfect speculator quality should be 1.5% of my account capital, but it's extended from the 20-day moving average. So with that being said, has to only be 0.5% of my account capital if I had all of that to use. Limit order, 34.20 the close. First cut loss, 33.50. Second cut loss, 31.63. final cut loss, that flush day, 30.96. So 30.96, 31.63, 33.50 for XO. And the final signal, add signal in THC. Beautiful move above the 50-day moving average, pocket pivot point signal. BOP is basically slightly higher to flat to the previous session. If it would have increased to the downside, I would not be adding to THC. But THC is cancelum quality, perfect speculator quality, super high quality, right at its 50-day moving average of the pocket pivot point signal. I don't care if I got negative BOP here on this add signal. I got to add to it. So it's supposed to be 0.75% of my account capital. Limit order, high of day, 35.69. Your first cut loss level right there, 33.92. Final cut loss level on this add signal, 32.10. All right, everyone. Excellent rebound today in the Russell 2000. Excellent pullback session with the rest of the general market finishing down. I had positive breath in my portfolio. I had gains on the session. The Russell 2000 had positive breath and gains on the section. My perfect speculator and cancelum scan looks good, even though the charts aren't pretty and they're not full of green BOP and heavy accumulation. They're still nice tight patterns and trending up. So as long as we have that floor of share buybacks, I'll continue to let this market take me as high as it wants to take me. Remember, I'm fully invested here on the long side. So while I don't like our uptrend because of the absolutely zero accumulation in this market, I mean, it's just pathetic looking. I'm not fighting it. In fact, I'm embracing it. I would love to see more of my trailing profit stops trigger so I can raise money for new long positions. We'll see if that happens. Something tells me probably not, based on the way the NASDAQ 100 is trading after hours following Microsoft's earnings. All right, everyone. I'll see you in the chat room Friday morning. Aloha.